I caused my son to lose his child. I never wanted to be one of those dads who picked favorites. But when Tyler turned 15 and his girlfriend Becca got pregnant, I lost my mind. Not because he was young, because he was turning into someone I didn't recognize. He'd always been my little shadow. Sunday pancakes, horror movie nights, those random drives where we'd just talk about everything. Even at 16, he still came to me first when something happened. I thought I'd done something right raising him alone after his mom left when he was 3. But the moment Becca told us she was pregnant, Tyler changed completely. He quit his part-time job at the auto shop, started sleeping until 2 in the afternoon, and when I'd ask about school or college applications, he'd just shrug and say, "I'm gonna be a dad now. That's my job." The kid who used to make me dinner when I looked tired was now expecting me to pay for everything while he played video games all day. When I brought up how babies were expensive and maybe he should think about adoption, he exploded on me, called me selfish, said I was just mad because I'd have to share him. That's when I made the worst decision of my life. I knew Becca's parents were already pushing for adoption. They were young, scared, and honestly way more realistic about the situation than my son was. So I started having conversations with them. Not plotting or anything dramatic, just talking about how maybe Tyler wasn't ready to be a father yet. I mentioned how he'd been skipping school, how he kept talking about dropping out, how he seemed to think a baby would just magically make him mature overnight. I told them about the time he forgot to feed our dog for 3 days because he was too busy gaming. Becca's mom started asking her daughter questions, real questions about Tyler's commitment, about whether he was really ready, about what their future would actually look like. And Becca, who was 17 and scared out of her mind, started having doubts. The adoption conversation came up again. This time, Becca was listening. Tyler found out I'd been talking to her parents from Becca herself. She was crying, confused, and she told him everything. How I'd made her realize he wasn't ready, how maybe they should consider other options. The look on his face when he confronted me is something I'll never forget. Pure betrayal. He asked me why I'd sabotage him, why I couldn't just support his decision to keep his baby. I told him the truth, that he was acting like a child, that he wasn't ready, that he needed to think about what was best for everyone involved, including the baby. He moved out that night, went to stay with Becca's family, which made things even more awkward. 2 weeks later, Becca made the decision to give the baby up for adoption. Tyler begged her to reconsider, promised he'd change, even got a job again, but it was too late. She had the baby last month. Tyler got to hold his daughter for about an hour before the adoptive parents took her home. He named her Sarah, after his mom. He hasn't spoken to me since, won't answer my calls, blocked me on everything.